Picture this. I was in the 10th grade, and my English teacher, Miss Anderson, gave the class an assignment on some literature that we had just finished. She wanted us to write out a one-page review of our thoughts of what we just read. Easy, right? So I wrote out a review in record time, not really putting much effort or time into this one-page review. I ran up to her desk. She looked at my paper, gave one look to me, and crumbled the paper up. She then looked at me and said, "This is garbage. Now go back and do this again. I expect more from you than this." I was irritated to say the least, but I went back to my desk and wrote out my thoughts with a new sense of purpose. Every word I wrote was of the most importance. I was totally invested in this assignment. And when I completed my review this time, I felt like I had something to prove. Miss Anderson looked at my review paper, then she looked back at me. This time, she smiled and said, "That's what I'm talking about. Good job." That is a moment I have never forgotten. Over 10 years later, I still reference that story. She challenged me to be greater than even I knew I could be. And when I was in grade school, I was fortunate enough to encounter mentors and teachers like Miss Anderson and family that were willing to invest in my future. They were there to ensure that I worked hard and became a successful individual. These people offered countless hours of support, whether it be offering homework help or just being there to discuss life issues. What I receive from those who have been mentors to me is invaluable, and I wouldn't change any of it. At the same time, this is what brings me to you now. I want to challenge you to become a mentor. In an article written for the Journal of Negro Education, mentoring is defined as a positive relationship and contribution by a non-parental adult to the life of a young person. This is all that is required. There's no long, drawn-out process. You don't have to have a doctoral degree, but if you do, you will not be turned away. You just have to be willing to pour into the generation that is in need. It's unfortunate that many children in my neighborhood grew up without having someone to mentor them. I'm asking you to help me to rebuild our communities and schools simply by being present and making the effort to positively guide the youth of our generation. The University of Pennsylvania issued a statement from their website saying that Black and Latino male students' academic underachievement and disengagement, as well as their dismal high school graduation and college matriculation rates, are among the most pressing and complex educational issues in the United States. This has to change. This is a public service announcement for mentors. M.E.N.T.O.R. To be a mentor, there are 6 essential things you must do. M. Motivate. Encourage young men and women to be better than they may realize they are. E. Empathize. Seek to meet them where they are and be patient. N. Nurture. Cultivate a meaningful relationship with your mentee. T. Teach. Use every opportunity to instill core values. O. Organize. Make the time to work with your mentee and create ways to involve others. R. Repeat. In an article cleverly titled "Never Too Young to Lead," authors Fred Bonner and Michael Jennings state that mentoring has been frequently discussed as an appropriate intervention for aiding African American boys who are struggling with academic achievement. This is the generation that will represent us in the near future. It is imperative that we make sure they are prepared. There are so many ways that you can be a part and make sure this generation has the tools they need to succeed. You can start with your immediate family. When I was growing up, we had an accountability check. Every night, my parents would ask if homework was completed, and my mother, she would periodically check to make sure. Small things like this show that you care, that you're invested. And trust me, they do not go unnoticed. You can get involved with your local church group or community leaders. If we all make a commitment to get invested in to invest some of our time, we can increase the success rate of our young men and women everywhere. For those students that may struggle with certain areas of education, we can also work with them within the community to find resources to help these individuals. Now, I personally had the opportunity to go back and thank Miss Anderson for pushing me to be better. She was humbled that I even remembered that one moment. Now just imagine the feeling that you would have knowing that you impacted the life of one young man or woman for the better. Wouldn't that feel amazing? Remember, you are not alone in your action to become a mentor. There are endless ways for you to be involved in the lives of young men and women. I have a few resources here for you. There's the Boy Scouts of America, their website, www.scouting.org. Girl Scouts of the USA, their web address, www.girlscouts.org. 100 Black Men of America, their website, www.100blackmen.org. National Coalition of 100 Black Women, their web address, www.ncbw.org. Now, these are just a few, but remember, to be a mentor, all you really need to be willing to do is motivate, empathize, nurture, teach, organize, and repeat. I'm Shane Dickerson, and thank you for listening.